Hi everyone and welcome back. When the people of Israel came to the promised land, Moses sent in spies. Of the spies, 2 of them returned, Joshua and Caleb, and they had a good report. The other spies, they had a negative, fearful report. They said the men in that place, they are like giants and we are like grasshoppers in our sight. You can read that in Numbers 13. And yet Caleb stands up and he quietens the people before Moses and says, let us go up at once and possess the land, for we are well able to overcome it. That was his heart and his determination. Now we know the story that because of Moses' disobedience, Moses did not take the people of Israel into the promised land. That was given to Joshua. And so Joshua, and with men like Caleb and others around him, they took a new generation of people into the promised land. And they conquered that land, and it took 40 years. And after 40 years, Caleb comes to Joshua. This is in Joshua chapter 14. And Caleb says to Joshua, he says, I have done everything, and I've been with you. Now please give me the land and the mountain that God has promised to me. And so at that old age of 80-something, he then went and took the mountain that God had promised. And it came to him simply because he had a different spirit. There was something different about him. And you see, that's what God is looking for in our lives today. It is so easy to give in to public opinion. It's so easy to follow what's going on in social media. To follow the trends and the fads and the fashions and the crazes of this world. It is so easy, even in the church, just to go with the flow and to go with the crowd. But God is looking for people who are sincere in their hearts and with integrity are able to see the plan and purpose of God and stick to it. People who desire to hold on to truth no matter what the cost. People who desire to walk in righteousness, no matter what price they have to pay. People who are willing to take up that cross and die to themselves on a day-to-day basis for the purposes of God. See, Paul says in 2 Corinthians chapter 2, that for we have the fragrance of Christ. And he is speaking about that aroma that comes from our hearts and our lives because we're willing to give ourselves completely into the plan and purpose of God. That's the attitude that God is looking for. That's what Caleb had. That's what God has for you and I. So let's rise up to the challenge today. May the Lord help us.